Hi everyone, my name is Abu Bakr and I'm a student employability advisor at Queen Mary University of London's Careers and Enterprise Service. Are you thinking about applying to one of our Aspire programs? If so, I've got 5 tips that can help you ace your applications. So tip number 1 is to expect questions about your motivation. Most of our Aspire programs include a question about your motivation. So whether you're applying for our student consultancy project, an internship, or any of our entrepreneurial activities, you can expect a question on your reasons for applying. And for this, you need to be both personal and specific. Our team is looking for your answers to convey genuine interest in the opportunity. So to help you get started, think about the following. What is the opportunity? What will I be doing and what am I going to be getting out of it? And then think, what are my career goals and my career aspirations? And how will this opportunity help me get to where I want to get to? Remember, be personal and be specific. Tip number 2 is to expect questions about skills. Many of our Aspire programs include a question where you're asked to share an example of a relevant skill or attribute. And for this, you want to draw upon a wide range of different skills that you would have gained from a variety of different activities. Now remember, it doesn't always have to come from work experience. You can draw upon skills from voluntary experience, extracurricular activities like clubs and societies, your degree, or even personal achievements too. You want to try and pick skills that show a positive outcome or maybe even show you overcoming a challenge, as long as it's transferable and relevant to the program and to the question you're being asked. Now to help you with tip number 2, I've got tip number 3, which is to use structured techniques to help you answer the questions. So let's say you want to give an example of a particular skill or an attribute. Well, for this, I highly recommend using the STAR technique to help you structure it. Now STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. But let's break it down. The situation is, where did this example take place? Was it at university? Or maybe it was at a previous work experience? Wherever it was, remember to set the scene and give us the context. For the task, what did you need to do? What was the challenge you needed to overcome? Or maybe the problem that you had to solve? And remember, it needs to be something that requires the skill that you're trying to demonstrate. Examples could be a group project, or maybe a time when you had to deal with a difficult customer. Now the action is, what did you do specifically to solve that problem or to address that challenge? Basically, what did you do to solve that task? And remember to be specific about your duties, your responsibilities, your actions. So in this, remember to use I rather than we. Now, the result is, what was the outcome? So from the actions you took to solve that task in that situation, how was it? Were you successful in what you needed to do? And a bonus tip is to include some reflections too. So what did you learn and what could have been better in this case? So remember, anytime you're given an example for a skill or an attribute, think STAR technique. So tip number 4 is to make sure you write professionally. Now many of our application questions require you to submit written answers, so make sure you use a professional style and professional language throughout. Try to avoid casual expressions or the use of slang, and also try to avoid spelling mistakes and grammatical errors. You can use tools like Grammarly to help you spot them and correct them instantly. But you can also ask friends or family members to proofread your applications to spot any mistakes before you submit. Now remember, anytime you need to submit an application, usually they're looking for reasons to say no rather than to say yes. So the last thing you want is any spelling mistakes or slang to be the reasons you get rejected, whether it's for the Aspire program or any application that you make. Remember, if you are going to use online tools, make sure it's set to UK English instead of US English as well. And finally, the library services run academic skills workshops as well to help you improve your language if you need that extra support. So remember, always make sure to double check before you submit. And finally, tip number 5 is that you can book in a one-to-one application advice appointment to go over any other questions you may have or to review your application before you submit. So, those are all the quick tips from me. I hope they were helpful and I wish you all the best with your application to any of our Aspire programs. Remember, if you need any more support from us, don't hesitate to reach out. Until then, take care.